1-pin lead, but to go all the way, it's got to be almost impossible. You know, just too many players to beat, too many variables, but right now Reyes certainly on the proverbial roll.
And here is Reyes. He is perfect through 5 frames, 6th frame in the second
That was
shootout.
way left. Excuse me, Gary, way left off his hand. There's the baby split, the first mistake, the first big mistake from Reyes. He leaves the 3 and the 10.
And now Norm Duke.
That might be the only crack in the armor that Duke will need. Comes right back and says, all right, Tony, let's make a game out of it. Hard and straight for the 310. Way too much.
And picks up just 1. You know, for in-depth sports coverage with late-breaking news, live scores, exclusive columns, and more, go to cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online, enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Chris Barnes now, his shot in the 6th, and Tony-Reyes with an open in the 6th frame ends his string of strikes. And a strike for Barnes.
Ball. Everything it touches falls down.
Boy, that open by Reyes in the previous frame, Duke and Barnes jumped all over it. Now it's just 17 pins separating them.
But of course, if Reyes continues to strike, 17 pins is enough of a cushion.
Oh yeah, he still is in control of the match, but he'd like to have those 12 pins back. Solid 10 last time on 34. And a great break for Duke.
Duke knows it. He got lucky there.
Well, he had the 4-6 standing up, and then somebody helped you, Norm.
Now Chris Barnes working on a strike.
Duke trails by 7 pins right now. Barnes with a strike here. He could cut it to 7 as well.
Push.
Gotta stop. And the great break that Norm Duke got certainly didn't happen for Chris Barnes. 4 and the 9.
Ring 10, ring 10. Try and get the high flush for 4-9.
Tough break for Barnes. But a real plus for Tony-Reyes. He lays down his shot, and it's good.
Now Reyes shakes off the bad shot on 34, and that's all it was. He just made a bad shot previously. Got it back together. Very important to make the split. He does not pick up the 4-9, and Barnes was talking to himself after that last shot, the 4-9. He says he goes ring 10, ring 10. As you can see, trying to make this split, just shaved a little bit thin. Feels like the pocket's very small and had to jam it into the pocket just a little bit too high. Duke working on 2 strikes. Your match right now is Norm Duke and Tony-Reyes.
And Barnes trying to get himself back in the game here.
Norm Duke right now only 7 pins down. He's got 3 in a row. Reyes has got a couple strikes working. Barnes, the best he can do is 225. He needs some help from both Reyes and Duke if he wants to win this game. Reyes with maybe his best shot of the 2 games. Barnes looking at the score, knowing that chances are not looking good.
Woo. Cool as a cucumber. May not exactly look at Marshall, a couple of sweat beads on his forehead, but he's still got 17 over Norm Duke and a sizable and comfortable lead over Chris Barnes at 51 pins, and that's not going to help Duke with the 10 pin remaining.
Really nothing Duke could do on a shot like that. Put the ball into the pocket, gave himself the opportunity to strike. 6 pin would not hit the 10 pin. Unfortunate. Now that's the break that Chris Barnes, that shot was so much worse than the last one he threw on lane 33. Funny game sometimes.
So Duke converts the spare, and Marshall, what does Tony-Reyes have to do to close this out, win the first 2 shootout rounds, and move on just a couple of steps away from our championship match?
Well, he needs a spare and just a decent count right now. He'd certainly like to strike. Remember, this is the lane he left the 310 on. That ball's left off his hand too, but better speed. He leaves the 7-pin, maybe a little fortunate. He left the 7-pin last in the last game against Jarris. Went on to strike and then went on to roll off. Needs to make that spare and get minimal count. He'll be your winner.
Norm Duke now.
Well, for any chance, Duke has got to strike out. There's one. Duke can shoot 238. Reyes right now with a spare and a strike is 245. Duke can do nothing except watch as Reyes makes the spare, and I know it's his first show, but he'll know just to throw it and keep it on the lane, and he'll win. Chris Barnes, not this week.
Here's Duke. And Duke keeping the pressure on, his second strike in the 10th. But Tony-Reyes, just 4 pins to win.
Will he throw it hard and straight? I know I would. I wouldn't even mess with that outside board. Well, kept the same shot. There's your winner right there.
And there's our winner. You might as well continue to do what works for you. And Tony-Reyes marching on to the championship match. He's got one more shootout to go. Can